Good day, good afternoon. Actually, it's good morning here where I am. And I just thought of a little story this morning that I wanted to share with you. Years ago, I was asked to help someone put a perm in their hair. Now, keep in mind, for an African American, when we're talking about perm, we're talking about straightening our hair. But this person was Polish and they had straight, fine blonde hair. And they really desired to have hair that was curly and had body. So they asked me. I have to tell you, this person was very brave because I'm not a hairdresser. I have no skill or talent. This is going back about 30 years ago. So we got the little bone rollers and we wrapped her hair around it. And we had a whole head of about, I don't know, maybe 30 rollers all in her hair, little rolls. And I was excited and she was excited. And we got the little bottle with the chemical in it that just stank to high heaven. So we squirted that and made sure we saturated. We followed the instructions, make sure everything was saturated properly. And I think we had to leave it on for a period of time for processing and then rinse it out. Well, after all our hard work that took so much time, we unrolled those bone rollers. And as we took each one out, there was a little Shirley Temple ringlet there. And I was excited and she was excited. And as it dried, those beautifully formed and sculptured rolls became these big, frizzy, billowy, massive hair. She and I both looked at it in alarm as we realized we were not going to realize the intended curls that she was supposed to have from this process. Well, I learned later on that there's such a thing as overprocessing, and I think that's what we did. Ruined her poor hair. And she wore it bravely until it was long enough that she could cut off all the damaged ends and do whatever she needed to do. But it was a little bit of a lesson to me. Whereas I was struggling with my own hair being naturally curly and wanted to straighten it, she was struggling with her hair being straight and lifeless and very limp, and she wanted to have curls and body and texture. Isn't that the way we are? We're just so uncomfortable sometimes with what is ours, what is natural, what we have. Instead of learning to work with it and to just make it into something that we could own with pride and enjoy. Well, years later, as I said, this is over 30 something years ago that this happened. And, it's a little bit of a funny story now, both for her and myself. But I thought about it. I thought about it because I was recently talking to some young ladies about beauty and what it looked like and how to define it. And how really it needs to be a personally defined thing because my beauty and your beauty may not be the same. And we have to own what we have and get comfortable with it and really understand that how, there's no copy made of you. God made you and he designed you for specific purposes. And you know what? When he saw you, just like he declared everything he created that it was good, he declared you were good too. You know, I work with my young ladies in my mentoring program, and I try to give them that message. We also utilize the story of Esther in the Bible, who was deemed beautiful even before she entered the king's court. And even when she entered the king's court, being acknowledged as a beauty, she still had to undergo 12 months of beauty treatments. So she was beautiful, and they were trying to make her even more beautiful. But really, they were trying to conform her to the Persian society's idea of what beauty was. Listen, we all come into this world with our own beauty. It really is individually defined. But we have to start with that message. That message is, I am beautiful. Now, does that mean that I don't wear makeup or I don't fix my hair or things like that? No, it doesn't mean that. You can wear makeup. You can try different styles in your hair. But what I want my young ladies to understand, and what I had to understand as I grew up too, is that how these things shouldn't mask what God has naturally given me. As my young ladies contemplated beauty and what it meant for each of them, we also talked about cross-culturally. That if they went to another culture, maybe beauty meant earlobes that were very elongated, or lips that were very stretched, or maybe it meant scarring or different body modifications. Even in our society, the girls were quick to point out, well, in our society, what do we have? We have butt implants, breast implants. We have, tattooed eyebrows. fake eyelashes. We have all these modifications that we try to put on, and a lot of times they're just attempts to conform to an idolized form of beauty that are not, it's not natural. I mean, if you don't have a big butt, you just don't have a big butt. No amount of butt implants is going to really do it. I mean, it's going to give it to you, but I mean, I don't know. Is it as good as having, it as an original butt? I have no idea. I'm not trying to judge, but I know that happiness doesn't lie in just trying to conform and conform and conform. Happiness lies first in understanding that you are a God given beauty and to embrace that message and hold on to it tightly. Because you know what? Hair extensions will come and go. Beauty changes over time, over years, over societies. But if you feel beautiful for who you are, it doesn't matter what society tells you. You are always going to be beautiful, not only in God's sight, but also in your own sight. Something to think about. Have a beautiful day. This is Allison Bennett.